Welcome to Journey On. It's another very special episode. This is the part, Kallie, where we all wave when we say welcome. There you go. Nice. Thank you for participating. Very special guest with us today. Kallie is with us. And to kick things off with this episode, we've got a lot of things to review and preview all the things that are happening. But before we get into it, now we're actually a week behind on this. Kallie was going to join last week. And we ran into some technical issues. So thanks for making the extra time to be here tonight. And I'm going to turn it over, Karl, if you wouldn't mind maybe giving an introduction about what Kallie and you will be talking about. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is my daughter, Kallie. And I was almost said obviously, but when you look at us, it may not be quite as obvious, but if you hang around us, it's incredibly obvious that we share sense of humor and taste in music, and a lot of different
Kallie,
things.
if you grow a goatee, maybe it would be
That'd
more
be nice.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
help.
Yeah.
And so Kallie has the distinct honor of being one of the original members around the table 8 years ago now, when we decided to actually start doing church in our home, and that also means that she was 50% of the worship team and and cleanup crew, and she was in on everything. So she's been there from the very, very beginning. And
so I have an important question then. What was your
Yes.
role in the waffles that happened as part of the beginning of church? Now, were you a
Well,
cook? Did you clean up afterwards maybe? How did that work?
really none of the above. I wasn't really a waffle person when we started. I would say I am now because
Mm,
Dad kind of made me a waffle person, but when we first started doing waffles, I wasn't
mm.
not a
You're very
breakfast gal. Yeah.
very
she did
waffly
help
about
clean up, though.
waffles. Okay,
She
well,
she always helped clean up.
we'll allow that. And
Yep.
if you're in the worship team, you can only do so much. I get it.
That's right. That's
Waffles
right.
is
I
a
mean,
lot
come
to
on.
ask for. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, come on.
Anyway.
And
The
so
acoustic days.
so anyway, 2 weeks ago now, I used a t-shirt that I will and I showed this last week too, but I'll just show that Cal and we were talking when we were together earlier this summer. And if you see here,
So we have a standard black Journey Fellowship
yep,
t-shirt.
Journey
Yep.
Fellowship over the left, where a pocket would be if it had one.
Mhm.
And so we were talking about what it takes to, 10, 15, 20, actually 20, 25 years ago, people would say things like, "Oh, I can't do that. I have church," or "I'd love to, but I have church." And like, where did that switch? And so Callie came up with this idea. Um, and now I can't see, but maybe you guys.
Yep, that's right on. Maybe shake it out a little bit. There you go. I'm in, but first church.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and what that is you can still do things, but we have priorities. We're gonna do church first, and then we can do these other things. And so I was saying, people might want to purchase that because it is such a cool idea, and it's a great talking point. When you read that, people go, "What do you mean?" And then you can talk about church, invite them to church. So I thought we'd have Callie on, and she'll explain this in her own words. She has so many creative ideas and a lot of different passions. So I thought this is a perfect opportunity to hear from one of the, I'm going to say, founding members
Ooh.
of Journey Fellowship. And so Cal, the floor is yours. If you want, I can hold the shirt up or whatever you'd like.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that shirt is kind of one of the small projects that I like to do for the church or my church here. I live in Seattle and I moved here a year and a half ago. Um, and I was looking for a church because I grew up in the church, so I know how important it is to stay connected and find something that you can call a place that you can call your church home pretty quickly, because being disconnected from the church isn't fun. So I looked and I found somewhere that I love and I go there still. It's a Calvary chapel here in Seattle-ish. And it's a very missions-based church. And so I quickly connected with the outreach pastor here, whose name is John. And I told him about my missions background and my volunteer background in lots of different areas. And he wanted to get me plugged in a bunch of different places. And one of those places was Missions Fest that takes place every year here in Seattle. And so I went as a participant, a guest, I guess. And one of the speakers shared that Seattle is one of the least reached or most unreached cities, major cities in the US. 65% of people in Seattle don't have a relationship with Christ, and that's a lot for the US.
Wow.
So I thought about it, and I I've always been passionate about art. I've always been a creative person, and so I thought about how can I combine art, creativity, and this need in the Seattle area. And so I um, kind of took that opportunity to make different like gospel tracks and like
Mm.
t-shirts. I have my website that's full of Christian based products that are also like visually appealing because I'm an artist and I like design.
Mhm.
And then I also
Let's
got,
before we get too far in, let's give that information so people can look it
oh,
up. It's and it'll
sure.
be in the notes down below for anybody that's watching this, but calliecreative.com, and creative is with a K. So Kallie, Kallie, and then K creative, right? .com. And the link will be here. But you do have a lot of information out there, and I do want to give there's a eye health warning. It's very pink. It's so pink. I kind of set back a little bit. So a bit of a
Tim, are
warning in
you
case
saying it
you
needs to be less pink? Are you
I
suggesting I make it
not
less
at all. I am not judging it. I'm just giving warning for those that may be sensitive to
Disclaimer.
that much pink. Yeah. I think
well?
it looks great, and I love there's a little place you can go to shop and see what's available. And I
Yeah.
was I was picturing that when you were talking about the tracks. You have that listed in your shop,
Mhm.
and some other items that you have there as well. So sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to make
Yep.
sure we got that out there.
No, that's great. And so another one of those products is the shirt. Can you show the other shirt, Dad?
You
This is
bet.
a pro-life shirt and it's pretty self-explanatory. But it has each month that a baby is in the womb and says that it's a child of God at every month.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's,
Okay. All right.
yep,
So all
yep,
along development,
yep,
all
no
child
matter
of
how
God.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another small project that's on my website.
It'll look like there's a lot on the back there too.
And a
Oh,
verse.
gotcha. All
Yep.
right.
Yep, Psalm 139 is on the back as well.
Nice. And Journey Fellowship again. Thank
Yep.
you
Yep.
for the extra plug on the West Coast.
Yep. If Journey Fellowship is out here, believe
Yeah,
it
that's great.
or not.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's how I decided to combine the two, and I get a lot of fulfillment from it, and there's always ideas in my head. So I think it's something I'm going to continue doing.
Yep. And
Excellent.
and
Well, I sure hope
yeah,
so. Yeah, go ahead, Carl.
and Callie also stays connected uh, through watching, watching online, watching us online, and does a lot of our. I never know exactly what to call them when the screen, the TV screens at church have the title screen. Is that what do we call? She
Like a
does a lot of the
graphic,
title
yeah.
screen. Say again.
Like a graphic, maybe.
Graphic, sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's been doing those for us for years, and so we have to
And
hook up on our next our series, our end time series. We need a
mm,
snappy title and a snappy graphic, Cal.
ooh.
Okay.
So we'll get on it.
So we're already previewing the next series. I like it.
Yep,
Uh,
there you
and
go.
and another little secret. People tune into Journey On to get the behind the scenes, what's happening with the church. Soon we will have a redesign for this show for Journey On. We're gonna have some new graphics and kind of a new setup for it. And a lot of thanks again to Callie. So now
Yeah.
that we're connected, and along those lines, if you are a business or know a business that is looking for graphic artist work. Kelly, do you do that kind of work also, or is this more
Hmm.
just you do? So
Yep.
another
Yep.
place you could just reach Kelly through her website. I saw that you have links to your social media and ways to
Mhm.
reach you there as well. So yeah, always good. Is that so? That's your mission, and you have a church home where you live now. Is that are you in that world for your career also, or is that something you're working towards?
No, my career is not creative or artistic whatsoever, but I think that makes it more special when I do
Mhm.
have time to do different projects or even just paint. Like I'm a fine artist as well. So
Kind of egotistical, but all right, we'll go with it.
the art is fine. I am not fine.
We're here to judge, but it's fine. We'll let that one slide.
I mean, we're not supposed to, but we do.
Well, we do. Yeah. No, we definitely judge. It's in there. Yeah. Well, I actually heard this one time from well, it was from a guy that had heard this from his uh, guidance counselor in school that told him when he was picking his career, what he should do is choose the top two things that he likes to do, and the number one thing that he really gets fulfillment from should not be his career.
Right.
The
Mm,
second thing that he likes to do should be his career. And
Yes.
I think that that's really good advice. So if this gives you fulfillment and
yeah.
you could do some things on the side, I feel that way about music and the creative side of things like this as well. So we
Mhm.
are definitely blessed, and our family continues to grow as a result of all of that.
Right.
So good. Anything else that you had in mind about the website or the mission that you have?
Um,
Put you on the spot there.
no, I guess I think I would like to share that if anyone else in the church is like, oh, I want to put together a gospel tract, or I want a shirt to say this, and I want to share this with people. I want to um start this small group within church, but we need like this specific thing, then I would love to help if there's any creative capacity that needs to be filled there.
Excellent. I think that's a great way to reach out for sure.
Yeah.
I had a thought, Cal. I don't know if you even remember this, but the very first service we did was we did it's not a devotional, but a study on, was it Psalms or Proverbs? It was Proverbs.
Oh,
We did
yeah.
a study on this because originally our church was around a kitchen table
Hmm.
and it was very interactive. It was similar to what we're doing right now, right?
Mhm.
And so our first church service as Journey Fellowship was around our kitchen table, and we did a study on Proverbs that Callie had written.
Hmm.
I just remembered that. Do you remember that?
Yep.
You were a lot younger then.
She's
Yep.
just
8 years
grateful
younger.
after yeah, she's just grateful that after 8 years she's finally getting recognized for the work that you've been taking
Yeah.
credit for this whole time.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I got all the awards, all the accolades, all the world tours,
You want an
and
Emmy? Yeah.
yeah, and a Tony and a Globey or whatever that
There
is.
you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
Churchy, do they have those? I'm not sure.
churchy. I
Yeah.
want a churchy. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
thank you for that, and stick around, Kelly. We've got lots to review and talk about, and would love your input. The first thing, the
Yeah.
Christmas Eve service. Now,
Okay.
Kelly, did you get to come home for Christmas? Were you in Fargo?
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. So we had the service, some great music. I know Bismarck's was fine. Fargo, I'm assuming you guys had some good music as well.
It was fun. Cal was in the worship team, so I got to play with her twice last week. Yeah, it was
Oh,
awesome.
nice. What'd you play? The
Um,
instrument.
I did percussion, kind of auxiliary percussion
Okay.
for Christmas Eve, and then on Saturday I did drums.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Drummers are pretty awesome people, percussionists,
I
I think.
agree.
Oh,
So we had the message, and the title. We didn't really talk much about the title in the service. I remember it came up, but
right.
it was down through the rooftop, right?
Yep. Down through the rooftop.
Yeah,
Correct.
and it was the message about the guy that was paralyzed, and the message was your sins are forgiven, and
Yeah.
there was a really for me, I was able to visualize it because I've been watching The Chosen, and they did that
Oh, sure.
particular scene in a unique way. I think that might have been in the first or second season, how they went about bringing this guy down and the
Sure.
interaction of the characters and whatnot. So it was interesting to kind of visualize that as we were talking about it. But I really like going back to the beginning of the message that you had, Karl, that our Savior was born, and that kind of brought us together because it was Christmas Eve, and this is the time of year when we do that, but that his ministry began 30 years later, and that's really what we're about. Like that's really what we're connecting about, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and then to talk on Christmas Eve in this very seasonal and happy celebration, to talk about the fact that Jesus knows all of the temptations and he knows how to defeat those temptations.
Right.
I thought
Right.
that was an important message to hear then, because you're right. A lot of times we can get together on Christmas or around Christmas, and we talk about the joy of the gifts and
Hmm.
the family get-togethers and the meals and the fellowship and all of these things. Well, we need to remember what it's all about, and I think that
Sure.
really touched on that for me.
Oh,
Um,
good. Good.
so yeah, that was good. A couple other points that I had written down. Jesus can see our faith when he looked at the man that was there, and to tell him that his sins were forgiven. And then the question that I had is, how do I show my faith? And it kind of connected to what we talked about last week in terms of how do I praise God? That question that had kind of come up as we were talking last week.
Sure.
And if I am praising God in how I live, then he can see my faith. And I think there's an important connection that I had through that message. So I wanted to say thanks for that part of that as well. For
Sure.
everybody else, you may have heard it, you may not have heard it. That was specifically for me, so I appreciate that as always. Everybody else, it's just yeah, it's a side thing that you're there. You're just paid actors, right? Um,
So
and go ahead, please.
in your
Yeah.
recap here, I just, you know me, I had put on my producer hat.
Hmm.
That would have been, not that we're going to do it, but that would have been the absolute most perfect transition into this week's message.
Oh,
We're not
awesome.
go, we're not going there, but it would have been. So kudos to you for mind reading.
So that okay, well, good. So we're that was what I had from Christmas Eve. Now, did either of you have anything that you wanted to kind of recap from Christmas Eve?
Uh,
And as always, no is a fine answer. Just wanted to give you the opportunity if something comes to mind.
yeah, I think just speaking for me, I I wasn't intentionally trying to be because it's really easy for a pastor to talk about the birth and the star and
Hmm.
the donkey and the manger and no room at the inn and so on. So that and there's nothing wrong with that. If anyone did that, fantastic, because
Hmm.
people need to hear that too.
Yes.
Everybody loves a birth story, right? I wasn't intentionally trying to go off the norm.
Mm.
Um, I think I start off the norm. And I don't
Yeah.
know if that's good or bad, but I just think sometimes, like you said, we can get so caught up in
Mm.
a birthday party or whatever, and you're like, whose birthday is it again? Um, so I'm glad. Thank you for bringing that up. That the message every weekend
Mm.
is praise and worship for what God has done and what he will do and what he continues to do.
Yeah.
Put it in the wrong order, but that's really why we get together, is to praise and worship. And in doing so, we're the body. We come together to encourage each other because we're loving like God loves,
Mm.
and forgiving one another like God forgives, and uplift, it
Mm.
all one
Yeah.
anothering one another. And so I thought it was neat the way Christmas Eve tied in with last week's message, and how last week's message really ties in
Mm.
with this week's message. It's it's like the ball's rolling
Yeah.
and you know gaining momentum, and so
So let's build on that then.
okay,
Chapter 1 of James is where we were at on Saturday and Sunday.
correct.
And one thing that I picked up on, and I heard you say it, and then going through the notes that you share out, uh, James uses the phrase brothers and sisters a lot.
He
Like
does. Yep.
there's a key to that, and it's making connection with people. That's like a very surface level thing, but he's really reiterating that not only are you friends of mine, you're my brothers and sisters, but pay attention. It's like
Yeah.
if I began each sentence with, okay, Karl, okay, Kallie, this is what we're going to do. Okay, Kallie, this is now we're going to talk about
You're right.
that. So the more he used that, the more he's really trying to kind of bring that to attention. And
Hmm.
then you talked about uh, persevere,
Persevere.
perseverance. So pain is temporary in that perseverance, right? But then
Hmm.
to give up, the pain is forever.
Right.
And earlier today, this is one of those behind the scenes things I love sharing. I actually texted out that I wanted to talk a little bit more about that because
Sure.
for me, there's the God connection, right? We talked about because if I give up on God, if I give up on my soul, then I know that pain is forever,
Sure.
right? And if
Yep.
if I'm struggling right now and I persevere through the pain, that's just the temporary thing here on earth, right? This life that we
Exactly.
have.
So
And
so in that in in that form, we'll say, right?
Mhm.
So perseverance, the pain is temporary, but to give up the pain is forever or eternal. Um, Oh, I kind of lost track of what I was saying. I had to restate. Uh, I'm sorry. I just lost what I was saying there. Um, but in essence, that's exactly right. Is if because that's what Satan wants. Satan wants us to give up on God because it
Hmm.
feels like he's given up on us, or maybe he never existed in the first place. Well, then Satan wins.
Mm. That's
So
okay. That's a unique perspective I hadn't thought of. That it's coming from temptation. It's coming from uh, the idea that it's not just because I'm weak, but because I don't have to. I don't have to persevere. I can just choose this easier path,
right,
and life is that much easier. I can tell you that I've been there. That was
sure.
a part of the walk that I've had to get to be the man that I am today, is turning away and then coming back again. And I think many of us have had similar experiences.
Mhm.
But yeah, that perseverance that I have today, I owe to the Holy Spirit and the people I surround myself with, because I know things can be hard now, but I know I can share that with my brothers and sisters, right?
And a that's a perfect point. So we grow, and I think we talked about this last weekend. We grow in the valleys. We grow
Mhm.
when we're in situations of help, help, help. That's where we really start looking, and kind of when we've exhausted all other opportunities, we go, okay, God, I've tried everything else, and I know God is just like, yeah, I know I've been watching, so welcome.
Yeah.
And if the only places that we really grow and connect and mature are in the valleys, well, then we have to expect God is going to allow us to be in valleys because he wants us to stay connected. So
Yeah.
it's one of those cyclical things. And yeah, I mean, when you think of it that way, it really does make sense. Satan wants it to get so bad we give up, and God says, don't give up. This is all temporary, and I'm growing you through this. You will be stronger on the other side of this.
Talk
So
about being inspired to continue to grow ourselves. If we don't do it, then God's going to give us the opportunity to do it, and it's probably not going to be as easy. So those
right,
those
right.
days where I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to really read into the Bible today. Maybe I'll just do a quick Cliff's Notes version of whatever I want to study. He's going to give me the opportunity to learn it one way or the other. So yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
better that
you're
we do the
exactly
work
right.
ourselves.
Exactly right.
A couple other points that I had from the message, and I really, this one hit me. Half-hearted prayers are answered in kind. And I don't know if that's exactly the way you said it,
I
but
like that.
that one, yeah, right
That's
between
awesome.
the eyes on that one, I thought, whoo, yeah, I've had those prayers of God, right? You get it? Okay, we good? All right, I gotta go have breakfast now. So so to really use the words and use the emotions, I think is really important. And I think you ended with, or part of the ending was to recommend people read James 1,
Yeah,
which please do. I think and if you really wanted to get crazy, you maybe read James 2, because that's coming up.
I
If we're
was going to
going in order, are
suggest
we going
that.
to go in order? Yeah, okay.
We are we are going to try and go in order.
All
We're
right.
not that crazy.
Yeah, not this time. One of the things that we've been accused of, Callie, is when Karl and I get together, we talk so much nobody else can get a word in. Any thoughts so far?
No, no, I'm
Okay.
listening. I'm listening.
Okay, excellent. You're our designated listener this time. Maybe we should just
There you
have
go.
somebody on that just listens to us, so we can read what how it's coming across. But I wanted to I wanted to review one other thing, because we're
Sure.
right at the end. It's December 30th as we record
Yes.
here. And we've had for 2025, the word of the year for our family has been growth.
Growth. Growth.
And yeah, grow, and to just talk about it from a what's the experience been like. So for me, and if you guys
Sure.
have some thoughts, you're sure
Hmm.
welcome to share them too. But for me, first, this was the first year I've participated in that throughout an entire year, and I want to say that it's been helpful for me, because there can be times that it feels like I'm floating through life, and I think maybe all of us have that in one way or another, and especially in our spiritual life, like, okay, we're connected, we're praying, we're surrounding ourselves with people. What's the thing? What's the big thing right now? And sometimes that can be the series that we're in. The screw tape letters this last year was that for me. That became a significant focus for me. So I didn't feel like there were ever those times like during the week where okay, where am I at? What's going on? When I
Okay.
had those moments this year, I fell back on growth. We have out of Acts 2. We have that passage that we use as a church family, as a
Yep.
family, and then growth was the thing for this year. And what does that mean? So for me, I could make that an individual thing in those moments where I wasn't feeling disconnected, but I wasn't necessarily connected in a way that I was feeling fulfilled. So I could use that myself, and I could do that personally, individually. I could maybe do more digging in, and I have into some of the messages.
Hmm.
This year with the radio show, I've talked here before. I did a book of the New Testament each time I did a radio show, and so I was able to study into that, and that was significant growth for me. I'm going to again recommend everybody take the time to not just read through a book and feel like, okay, I've accomplished a thing. If that does it for you, that's great. But the studying of it, right? There's something,
Yeah.
do something with it. But the studying of it and looking up resources online, finding those trusted sources and
Yep.
digging more into what it might mean, some different perspectives.
Hmm.
It was really eye-opening and engaging, and it was an area that I grew in this year, and I appreciate
Nice.
that perspective from our family. And then a challenge that I would have for everyone is how did we grow as a follower in Christ?
No.
Uh, and I can point to some things where I did good. I can point to some times where I could have done better. Um, and this thought came to mind that I can I can grow as a leader of people and a follower of Christ. And I
Hmm.
think we are all leaders. Every one of us is, regardless of our position at work or family or groups of people, someone is watching what we do and they are following in some manner or another. It might not even be
Yep.
conscious.
Yep.
And if we think of it in those terms, as opposed to a follower of people and trying to lead God, it's a much easier life. And I've
Yeah.
I've been there
Yeah.
before. So that focus of how am I following Christ and what am I doing to lead people? I think that was a growth area for me this year. And
Wow.
through all of that, I know that that's something that's been important to Journey Fellowship, and I appreciate that. And I hope others took something from it this year as well.
Man, that's fantastic. And um, I want to say too, you and I doing this show now, it's been a while. How long? I mean, maybe you don't know. We've been doing
Couple
this a
years.
while.
It's been, yeah,
Couple
I know
years.
that this has been around for at least 2.5, 3 years. You and I
Okay.
have been doing it since at least a year and a half
Yeah.
consistently. You've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
on numerous times before, but yeah, yeah, for sure.
And so we've talked about this, I think maybe off camera, or however you
The
want to
the
say that.
pre-show, yeah.
Yeah, the pre-show and the post-show. Sometimes we even have a post-show.
Mhm.
Um, but we've talked about, just you and I getting together and
Right.
doing this
Hmm.
is growing our relationship,
Yeah.
yours and mine
Mhm.
specifically. And I have to say this, as someone who looks for this type of thing, a pastor, we're pastors, we're geared to
Mm.
look for places we can help people grow,
Yeah.
right? Engage,
Hmm.
whatever you want to call it. And I've noticed honestly in the last year, Jim, you're not to belabor the point, but your growth is remarkable, and your willingness to grow is even more incredible because not everybody's on the growth train. Some people come along kicking and screaming, and then so I just appreciate that.
Yeah. Well,
I
thank you.
appreciate
And yeah.
that you see the value in it, and you see the blessing in it. And like you said, anybody, and Cal, you know this from doing studies and stuff, and I know you'll agree, any time that you spend answering questions that have been raised while you're reading, or answering questions that have been asked you, or just answering questions that you've had, any time you spend in the Word, in the Bible, answering those questions or trying to find answers, or digging deeper, some
Hmm.
people say God blesses that, he rewards it. And it's never time wasted, absolutely never time wasted. I enjoy all my time that I get to spend on messages and digging in, and even when I do personal study, um, which is actually what kind of brought on this end times thing, is you and I were talking, and I
Yeah.
went, you know what, I'm just gonna kind of refresh myself, and there's some new things, and I was like,
Oh.
yeah, you know what, if you're thinking it and I'm thinking it, we're not the only ones.
Mm.
So I got off on a tangent there, but as far as growth goes,
Growth. Yeah.
I'm looking at how our our family, two
Mm.
locations, how we've come together
Hmm.
many times stronger than we were in the last year. So that's growth there. We have fresh approaches to things. We've grown in our people that are, I don't know if I want to call them, paid employees, our worship leaders. They do a great job, and we have just people that are really passionate about God and about making our family the
Mm.
best it possibly can be, to be an attractive, a light, if you will, or a reflection of God's light. So people are able to come and see what it's all about. So we've grown that way, just a lot of different ways. I've grown myself. I know that, just spiritually, which is the idea, right?
Mm.
Every day to be more like Jesus than you were the day before. And like you said, there are days I think maybe I'll just, relax today and take a day. God doesn't really allow that, because to leave our guard down, someone else is stepping in and he
Mm.
knows it, and we need to remember that. So,
Amen.
Cal, you
Uh,
have anything on growth?
No, no.
Okay. You
you,
do agree with it, though, I would hope.
Yep.
Okay,
and
good.
I heard like what we started with today. That's been your growth this past year because you mentioned you just moved out to Seattle a year and a half ago, right?
Hmm.
So in this last year, you've continued to develop the mission and obviously settle into a new home area. That's
Mhm.
scary and exciting, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess now that you say it like that, I have seen growth in the last year and a half of my life because when I'm writing my little, like, I call them essays, but they go into a book, so I don't know. My short books, I do a lot of research
Mm.
in both the secular world and in my Bible to find areas where they overlap because there's lots of different areas where scientific research, because psychology is kind of my thing as well.
Mm.
So psychology and the Bible overlap in a lot of different places in that way. So I, I
100%. Yeah.
grow I grow a lot personally when I get to do that.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
that's where we've been in 2025, and we're just a couple days away from the new year and
Yeah.
the 2026 word revelation. Are we ready? Do we have? I don't have any music prepared. I should have done
Oh
something to
man.
do fireworks or anything. Can you do the fireworks thing like you do
I
sometimes
don't
by
know if this one
accident?
has the
It
fireworks. No,
doesn't.
it
Yeah.
doesn't. It doesn't.
We'll just pretend. Yeah.
You have to get the heart. Nope, no
Oh, there
heart.
you go. Yeah.
Um, Yeah,
So.
the our church word, and I would encourage everybody to be praying on a
Mhm.
personal word. If God wants to give you a word for the year, uh, He will. If you ask, He will. That's something to focus on. But our church word for the year is going to be devote.
Mm. Devote.
Devote.
So if you go to the polls, devote. It's an
Yeah.
election year, I'm
Yep.
assuming,
It's an
right?
election year, so you go. Very
You go to
nice.
vote. Yes.
Very nice. Fireworks.
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 Devote, like devotion. Maybe we should
Devotion.
clarify a little bit.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. Devote.
So we devote, and there's a
Devote.
lot that can go into that.
Yeah.
Let's give everybody a chance to. We'll let that breathe.
Yeah.
Give some thought individually. Have conversations and fellowship, and
Mhm.
I'm sure that will evolve throughout the year. I think growth did as well. You know,
Yeah,
we didn't have
absolutely.
a. It's not the word, and one of the things I like also is it's not here's the word and here's what we're all going to do about it. It's not a plan. It's not a business thing. It's not a mission statement. It's a concept. So devote
Right.
came to you and to
Yep.
our family. So we'll focus on that in the coming year. That's a great
Yeah.
thing to think about for you crazy people that'll be up watching midnight tick into the next year. You can think about that at 12:01 a.m. Or if you're like me, when you wake up the next morning and it's a new year, that's the
Yeah.
first I'll realize that it's a new year. And
Right.
vote is a good thing to think about there as well. And another preview item, we'll
Yeah.
continue into James 2 for
Yes.
the service this coming weekend. And I
Mhm.
forgot to ask you before we started recording, will you be in Bismarck? I know it's on Sunday. I know it's a busy weekend for you.
I um
May or may not. We can leave a pin in
my
there.
plan is to be. My
Yeah,
plan
that's
is
wow.
to be.
We
And
missed you this
last week
last
it,
weekend, yeah, because of the
yeah.
storm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was surprised you made it as far. For those that saw the service online or that were here, I was surprised that you made it as far as Valley City from
Mhm.
Fargo before turning back because that was
Yeah.
pretty nasty out that direction. I understand.
Yeah, it was. And from probably Fargo to a little Tower City, if
Mm,
anyone, is following directionally. It wasn't bad at all.
yeah.
Windy, but
Mhm.
could see the road and but it
Which is
was
nice.
right, which is very helpful when you're driving.
Yeah.
But right around Valley City, it just became really ugly
Mm,
and I was thinking and I pulled over and I looked at the weather map
mhm,
and the big blue blob
mhm.
hadn't even hit there yet. So I'm thinking if it's like this and the blob is coming, and I'm
Yeah.
No.
pretty sure that blob followed me because I got home and my wife was relieved that I actually turned around. She's,
Yeah.
that's growth. 2 years ago, I probably wouldn't have done that. And I'd probably still be stranded in Bismarck. But
Yeah.
so yeah, it was we'll see. My intention is to be there uh every Sunday, but it doesn't
Mm.
always work out. And we have a revival on Sunday evening, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
There,
see.
so there, yeah, there is a lot. We also have communion in both locations, right?
Yep, yep.
And then I was going to mention that as well. So, real quick on James, we'll be in James chapter 2.
James
So,
chapter 2.
read ahead there. Is there anything else that you wanted to kind of preview in terms of that?
Bring your listening ears because James chapter 2, this wisdom given by a little brother, it is chock full of information, and I'm going to touch on a lot of stuff, but I hopefully can bring it all around to one main point.
Excellent.
But if people read through it, there'll be far less raised eyebrows and confused looks. So,
So, a lot of
uh,
rapid fire. You got the automatic machine gun ready
yep,
for
yep,
Saturday and Sunday. I think that'll
exactly.
be good.
I'm
So, okay,
practicing
then
my
we've
speed talking.
there. Oh, nice. The micro machine guy from back in the 80s and 90s. Remember that guy
Right.
that talks super fast?
Yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
so not you, Callie. You never mind. You can look it up on YouTube and all those things. But also coming up this weekend, then, or coming up soon tomorrow,
Hmm.
Wednesday the 31st in Fargo and Bismarck, we have game nights.
Yep,
And church location, right, in Fargo as well, just at the church.
correct. Yep,
Same in Bismarck. In Fargo, I believe they're going to start about 5:30 and give
that's what I'm
everybody
being
till
told.
about, yeah, until about 9 o'clock. In Bismarck, we've been saying 4 to 8, but if we're having fun and games are happening after 8, I've also heard a lot of people say that they have to work, and I wanted to make sure to mention this here as well. If you have to work and you're not able to get there until after
Right.
5, 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
still come out. I mean, the
Yes,
games are
yes.
nice. We're gonna have way more food than we could possibly eat. Oh, do you want to talk about what you guys are having in Fargo?
Well, I don't want
What
people in
you
Bismarck to get jealous, but yeah, we have a hot dog roller. That's
A
right.
hot
It's
dog
a hot dog
roller.
roller.
Like,
Hmm.
are you gonna come back, Kelly? Like, just drive back. It's a hot dog roller. How could you not be
It's
here
worth
for
it.
it? Seems absolutely worth it. Maybe they
She's maybe not
can.
as big a hot dog fan as I am, but yeah.
Will you guys have the Cloverdale Red hot dogs? Like, how big a production are we getting into here?
I
I don't want
know.
to blow the budget.
I
Yeah.
saw in our fridge we have foot-long hot dogs,
Ooh,
and
nice.
so I'm hoping we have foot-long buns. I'm sure somewhere on the premises we do, and then
Just
some
put two
other
buns
people have
together. It'll be fine. Yeah.
right. Yeah, it'll be all right.
And I know
So
in Bismarck, Janita's got some plans for some goodies. We're just doing the micro hot dogs, the little weenies.
Mm,
So
yes,
we're gonna
right
figure
on.
out what to do
That's
with those.
actually
And
that's Callie's deal right there.
there
yeah.
you go. Is that stuff with the barbecue sauce?
Yeah.
Hmm.
All good stuff. So that's happening. And then this weekend we've got the services. Oh, and then Sunday in Fargo, it's the second revival night.
Correct.
And what does that all entail? Remind us so we can get people invited and attending for
Right.
sure.
So it starts at 7 o'clock, and it's similar to a church service in the fact that it's at church, but it's more music based. So there's almost twice as much music. There's a shorter message, and it's so if you think about revival, it's either reviving someone's excitement and passion for Christ that
Mhm.
once was there and maybe isn't quite as prevalent. So it's getting that fire, kind of stoked again, or it's bringing somebody from being lost, introducing them to Jesus, or it's just a family come together and reviving that
Yeah, the fire.
the fire. Yeah. So it's the last one was fantastic,
Mm,
and I can't imagine this one's going to be any different. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's a great invitation too because it's at a weird time, Sunday
yeah.
evening. Most people aren't working on a Sunday evening. It takes an hour. So anyone that has to work the next day, we'll have you out of there by 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so just a really, really good invitation opportunity.
Excellent. So many things that are happening, and really appreciate everybody's time. I do want to apologize for our viewers. Kallie just kept cutting us off and talking so much. I know it's out of the ordinary. We'll have a talk with her after the show and tell her to calm down next time we bring her on. But thank you, Kallie, for being here. And do you have any final thoughts for us, Karl, as we wind down today?
I do, yes, and it has to do with the new year, and a lot of people in the new year make resolutions, and most of us who've made resolutions in the past know that if it makes it 2 weeks, that's a pretty special resolution. Not many make it longer than that. But what I want to encourage people to do is if you're thinking, you know what, I do need to change. I need to change something in my life. When you dedicate time to Jesus and his body, his family, that is a change that then spawns, or whatever the word would be, drives other changes. So you work on your spiritual health, and your physical health starts to improve, and your mental health starts to improve, and all these these things that we make New Year's resolutions about, they start to improve. And when you stay connected, it's easy to continue in that resolution. So it's less a resolution and more of it's more of a devotion, if you will.
Oh, that's what a great connection. Like you planned
I was
it.
hoping somebody found that.
Yeah. We don't do a lot of Easter eggs here. We call them out too quickly. Yeah. Well, thanks again, everybody. God bless. Have a good New Year's. Stay safe. Karl's not the only one that travels this time of year, and
Right.
everybody that's out there, we've got members of our family that are overseas that are taking trips this time of year. So God's blessings on them, and we're thinking of their safety. I also know that we have family members that are going through some grief right now, that we're thinking of them, and any of the challenges and celebrations that we have. We're all together, and let's just make sure we stay that way. So thank you all. Kallie, thanks again. Congratulations on your mission, and blessings on continued success with that. And we'll see everybody soon. God bless.
Thank you.